Hey guys, so hope you guys had a good weekend. So we were left with yet another doji. So we are just getting just a crazy amount of dojis. So I wanted to look at this price action real quick from the last about 15 trading days. So it goes back to here. If you look, so our low was 406.6 on with candle body, and our high was right here around 415.6. So we pretty much have a $9 range for the last 15 trading days that we have maintained. And even on a shorter time frame, for the last about 8 trading days, which goes back to this close here on the 13th, we have maintained about a $4.40 range. We've closed 3 daily dojis in a row. But if you count back, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dojis out of the last 15 trading days, and 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trading days, really 7 trading days, have been a doji close. So we definitely have some indecision here, and we're just kind of stuck in this tight range. So one thing to keep in mind here is that we did turn today this supply right here at 412 into a demand, which is a support. So I mentioned last week when that happened that the market was very imbalanced. Right now that rebalances it a little bit. So with this demand being established here, our upside target should always be the next demand or supply. So right now, our upside target should be 414.14, where we should be looking for right now. However, we can immediately turn around, which has pretty much been the case now for the last 15 days, and establish a new supply. So then our target would once again be 409.6. So we're still just in some real chop right here. Not really a lot of direction. We did retake the daily 8 EMA. However, we have seen time and time again where we do a move like this and then immediately follow it up with a double top and drop again. So definitely going to be keeping an eye on where we go tomorrow. We do have to also keep in mind that Tuesday is going to be a very big earnings day. So on Tuesday night after close, we're going to get Google and Microsoft. Wednesday after market, we get Facebook, and then Thursday we get Amazon. So the next 3 trading days, really tomorrow is the last trading day of the week that we're not going to have some sort of major after hours potential move based on earnings. So something to keep in mind for sure. Going over to futures here. So futures actually balance itself out really nicely here, and we have a lot more dojis on futures. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, if you count this as a long, 12 dojis out of the last 15 trading days, and out of the last 8 or 7 days, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of the last 7 trading days have been dojis. We just have a ton of indirection. So we also established a new demand support today at 41.53. So with this, once again, we should be looking for an upside move. Now, one interesting thing to show just how balanced futures is compared to SPY, and also how balanced this range day that we or this ranging that we've been doing for about a month now, dating all the way back to April 3rd, is that we have a defined outside range at 41.18 and a defined supply all the way up here at 41.78 and even all the way up to 41.98 where we did get a wick on this candle. So we have a very clean cut, like very solid 418 to 41.98. So really realistically, if you were on the conservative side, until we close over 41.98 or under 41.18, really there's not a ton of direction. You could also short it, or not short it, but play it more short term with 41.78 and 41.53 support. So today we got the VIX1D for the first time. So this is the 5-minute chart. One interesting thing that I'm kind of surprised that TradingView did. If you look here, so for the live data, you need to have the global indices feed. Now, I do subscribe to most of the live data for CBOE and stuff like that, but For some reason, they didn't include it with this. They kind of include it with a global fund for whatever reason. So unless you pay extra, you are not getting live data on TradingView. Now on Thinkorswim, you do get your live data. I found it very helpful today. I did like it. I used it on a 1 minute and a 5 minute time frame, and I did find it very helpful. One interesting thing for me that I looked at here, end of day, you can see we had a big move up on the VIX1D. So I'm going to be looking if a big move up end of day has any sort of correlation with the next day. We now have a new tool, and we need to learn this tool, and we need to see what happens when XYZ happens, and then what happens the next day. So we do have a new thing to learn. So taking a look at the VIX today, we did have a ton of movement. So interestingly enough, we actually had about a 4% green open on the VIX. And at that time, SPY was very flat. So you would think finally when the market opens the VIX a little higher that we would see a bigger sell-off on SPY. However, we did not see that. So that's a big sign for me at open when you see a very big divergence on the VIX and on SPY, that one of them is wrong and one of them going to correct. Today, what ended up happening was we actually had both do it really, but SPY sold off and the VIX ended up selling off at one point, which is even more interesting, the fact that while SPY was dropping, for the most of the part during the day here, when we had this bigger sell-off here on SPY, the VIX actually came down with it. So that's kind of interesting and not usually the normal. So we did end up putting in a rejection off the daily 20 EMA right here at this key 18.24. And then we did break back under 17.1. So we are still potentially in a downward bear channel right here. And we are potentially in a V bottom with a breakout triangle here. So key support tomorrow is going to be right here at 16.78 and then 18.24 on our resistance. So it's tough. Favoritism on the VIX, if you look at the last basically almost over a month of trading now, it's just been declining. We definitely see some slowing finally in that decline over the last really week or 2 weeks of trading, but we still don't have enough to say for sure we're going to get a big upside VIX move and downside SPY move. But last little thing here, Bitcoin has had a pretty big sell-off. It is nicely holding 27.2K right now. So still rejecting the bear or the 8 EMA too. So favoritism to the downside. Have a really large from this previous run up on March 17th, which goes all the way back down to about 25K. So if we lose this, I would say 27.1K support, then I would start looking for that 25K range. Otherwise, we're probably going to get a bigger pushback up to about 28.3K. So, all right, I'm off tomorrow. I will not be trading tomorrow. I hope you guys have a good day trading tomorrow, and I will see you guys tomorrow.